Confront the private you. We're going to talk about and get into confronting the private you. I know this is a strange topic because we don't like to expose the private us, but I'm telling you, there's a private you that's keeping you away from your goals, your dreams, your desires, everything that God has put on the inside of you. You're being held hostage to the public you because you don't want people to know who the private you is. But until you confront the private you will not see the manifestation of your dreams, your goals. We can do all of the motivation, inspiration, but you will never see transformation because transformation happens system deep and it only happens with the authentic you.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Motivate. Go motivate. We gotta motivate. Let's go. Go motivate. Gotta motivate. Go motivate. Let's go. 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 Let's go.
There's a private you hiding. There's a private you that's running and hiding and don't want nobody to see it. But it's that private you that you're concealing that's keeping you from reaching your goals. That's keeping you from going forward and taking steps to reach your goals. Where is that fear coming from? Where is that anxiety coming from? Where is that apprehension coming from that keeps you from taking steps? Keeps you walking in a place of limitations. Keep you only walking in stages and steps of limitations and of lack. When you're going to enter into abundance, when you stop protecting the private you, the you that refuses to do the tough work, the you that refuses to do the heavy lifting, the you that refuses to have the tough conversations, the you that refuses to put that mirror in front of you and say, mirror, mirror on the wall. The you that refuses. Because when you open your mouth and speak, it's going to tell you about you. See, we don't like to hear about us. We don't like to hear that we're stagnant and that we set dreams up. We have dreams and goals, but we haven't awoken yet to dream them. You have dreams, you have goals, but it takes courageous men to dream great dreams. See, this is the one thing about dreaming is it costs us nothing. Dreaming doesn't cost you anything. But until you confront the undercover brother, you don't have to look any further. You don't have to look any further than yourself. That's the blame for why you haven't gone as far as you thought you could have gone. Why you haven't reached the goals and dreams you thought you should have dreamed. It's because there's a private you that's holding you hostage to the old way of thinking. And the first step in confronting the private you is confronting how you think. It's all above the neck. You have to confront how you think and what you think. Because somebody have created a narrative that have told you how to think and what to think about what you think. That have put you in the place where you're at. Because this is what Scripture says. It says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So your thoughts, the accumulations of your thoughts and conclusions have brought you to the place where you're at. And now you need to deconstruct the fortified philosophy, life-living philosophy that you have in order to release yourself from the private you. See, the private you, as long as he stays private, as long as she stays private, you will continue to fight against something that you can't see. You're calling it the devil. No, it's just the private you that have accepted limitation, that have accepted lack, that have accepted weakness, that have accepted fear. All of fear is a delusion, right? It's confusion. Lack is confusion. It's a delusion. There is no lack in you. There's abundance in you. But these are the things that keep you from moving into the conclusion and living your life in the conclusion. And it starts with challenging your life-living philosophy above the neck. When are you going to challenge how you think? When do we see playing professional football, running track, being a world-class high jump athlete? Everyone who high jumps or ran track understands that most of what you do in track and field happens above the neck, especially high jump. You can be the highest jumper on the track, but if you don't have your mindset and things dial in above the neck, you're not going to jump high. You're going to lose every competition. And it's not until you confront the limitations that bind you to failure, that bind you to mediocrity, that bind you to not fulfilling destiny's goals and dreams, There's systems that are designed to keep you producing the same thing. There's philosophies above your neck that's going to keep you producing the same thing. I don't care how far you get. It's like a chain that pulls you back into alignment with what you truly believe. That hidden you, that untalked about you. Why am I stuck at this level financially? Because there's a inner you, there's a hidden you that allows you to go so far, but the philosophy that you have working, the system of thinking that you have working is only designed to support you going $100,000 a year. You keep going to $100,000. You can't break the veil to get into $200,000, even to $150,000. Why? Because you have to change your life living philosophy, and that life living philosophy is rooting in the you that nobody sees. Yeah, that life living philosophy is rooted in the you that nobody sees. The private you, the untalked about you. The you that hides behind the mask that you parade in front of people. The you that in public nobody will ever see. The you that when you're alone it speaks to you and you try to silence it with appetites. You try to silence it with smoking and drinking and going to clubs and playing video games. You can't sit still for an hour and just hear you speak to you. What are you saying to you when you speak? It will tell you. The one thing, the you that nobody wants to know, the you that nobody knows, the you that's private, the one thing that it will do is it'll tell on itself. It'll tell you itself, but you ignore it. That private you saying, nah, don't go work out. That private you saying, nah, let them do it. That private you saying, no, don't go the extra mile. That private you that's saying, I want it, but I want people to think that I want it, so I'm gonna settle for this as opposed to settling for that or achieving that. The you that says I'm gonna leave the waiter a horrible tip. But I'm gonna make everybody else think I'm a good tip. The you that says I'm gonna make everybody else think I'm working my tail off in the weight room, but I'm really chilling. I really don't want it like I say I want it, but I'm just doing this just because it looked good. The you that wants to, you're pursuing money and not pursuing fulfilling the needs of people. Meeting the needs of people. You're pursuing wealth and pursuing money, but you're not pursuing creating systems that meet the needs of people and letting the wealth pursue you. See, there are systems for life living philosophies that hold us hostage to levels. If you're gonna level up, you gotta confront the you, the private you that nobody knows. Let me put it this way, until the private you becomes the public you, you will not reach your goals. The same person people see in public is the same person they should see in private. There should not be any difference. And until that happens, until you say enough is enough, and you confront the private you dethrone the private you so that the public you can be the real you, then you will never ever reach those goals. It starts with confronting the private you. It starts with uprooting life living philosophies that aren't congruent with where you want to go. So you still living your life based on where you're at and not based on where you're going. You still living your life based on in a survival system, in a system of survival, and not living your life in a system of perpetual abundance. A seed lives its life in a system of perpetual abundance. It's never looking back. It might be one seed, but he knows it's on the inside of it. It's a billion opportunities. And all it needs is an environment. And when it gets in that environment, those opportunities begin to come forth in the form of orange trees, which produces oranges, which produces more seeds. Are you ready to walk in the divine system? Are you ready to walk in a divine system that exposes you, to dethrone the private you, so that the public you is all that remains, and that public you can be empowered with information, knowledge, and understanding that brings you into a place where you begin to knock down every goal that you set up, every desire that you have. It pursues you and it completes itself. I desired as a high school kid to go to the NFL. I desired. Matter of fact, as a middle school, grade school kid, 12 years old, said I was going to the NFL and buy my mama house, and that pursued me. It chased me down. I wasn't pursuing it. I was giving birth to what was on the inside of me. It was a conclusion already. And see, this is principle number 2, is that after you've confronted life-living philosophies and made the adjustments that you need to make within the systems of thinking that you have deployed in your life, now you live in the conclusion. Now you live in the conclusion of what you see. You live in the conclusion of the reality that the systems that you have designed and have accepted and have changed and rearranged so that they can produce certain things. You live in the conclusion of what they produce, not in the beginning of what they're trying to produce or what you're moving towards, because the system is in place and it's going to produce the same thing over and over again until you can walk in the knowing of that, until you can accept the conclusion of that, and you can walk in the knowing and the faith of that, then the hidden you, it'll never tell you when you're wrong. The hidden you will never tell you that you need to go do some more reps. The hidden you will never tell you that you need to go and study some more, need to go add value to yourself. The hidden you will always stay complacent. Will say, nah, you good. Nah, you can do it on your own. The hidden you will never tell you to listen to the teacher. Public success, private failure. What should we say? Where do we begin? Until you confront the private you'll always continue to get those same results you've been getting. The number one thing that we have to confront is the systems that govern the private us. There are systems, there are philosophies, there are mindsets that govern the private us. We have to attack system deep in order to get system deep results. Because you know what? Change only happens systems deep. Change doesn't happen on any other level except system deep. When you look at life, everything happens by design and not by mistake. The trees are growing by design. Plants, the grass is growing by design. There are systems in place that perpetuate a cycle of benevolence, a cycle of continuation. And just like the trees and the plants and nature does that, there's a system in place that keeps you going and doing the same things over and over again. Even though you try and do stuff different on the top. See, because you're not changing system deep. You're not going system deep to the private you. You're only changing the window dressing. And you keep going around the bend every time, going around with each iteration of life, every year, every week, every month, every moment, every quarter, and you keep getting the same results or even lesser results because you have yet to change your life philosophy of how you think. What's happening to you is happening above the neck, not below it. And because you are the same person that keeps thinking up these great ideas and you keep getting the same results, you need to change how you think, because the you of the past, the private you, is holding you hostage and don't want to let you go. Because lets you relinquish yourself of the mind of the old you, the new you can't exist. The billionaire you can't exist until the $100,000 you dies. And I'm talking about the mind of the $100,000 you. The mind of the $500,000 you. That mind has to cease to exist in order for the $1 million mind to succeed. See, you're walking in a low level of consciousness and you're trying to produce a high level of results. You're not consciously engaged on that level where $1 billion opportunities are happening. Your consciousness dwells on $100,000 level. And so you continue to produce these results because you've not changed the system, the philosophies, and understanding of how you think. And you've allowed someone else to shape how you think and what you think in order to get you where you're at. And that's cool. You've listened to some people, you've adopted some life living philosophies. But if you want to grow at even a higher rate and produce the dreams, goals, and realities, desires that are on the inside of you for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of someone else, then you're going to have to change how you think and what you think. You're going to have to change how you think and what you think. Your issues are above the neck. They're not below the neck. Your issues are you think you know it all. Your issues are you think you have it figured out. Your issues are you think you can do it all by yourself. But when you look back at the collection of thoughts, mindsets, ideas, life living philosophies, and habits that you have, which all work together to bring you to a place of operating a system, then you'll realize you didn't get all that by yourself, right? Ideas, philosophies, habits, mindsets, revelations, all together working to bring about a predictable outcome. That's what you are, the predictable outcome of accumulation of ideas, mindsets, life-living philosophies, concepts, revelations, all working together to bring about the you product. So I need you to go back, examine system deep concepts that you've adopted within your life-living philosophy with each iteration in order to bring and introduce us to the new you. I'm excited because I know that you're going to introduce me to the new you, because you're dethroning the private you. You no longer are going to settle for being a public success and a private failure, but you're going to dethrone those habitual mindsets, habits, ideologies, and philosophies that keep producing predictable outcomes that you seemingly have no control over when you have all the control over. That's the illusion. The illusion is you keep producing these predictable outcomes over and over again, and you have no control over. It's like the man who's addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol, addicted to drinking, addicted to this or addicted to that. Whatever your addiction is, I don't have control. Yes, you do. It's life-living philosophies that you have accepted that you are afraid to confront the private you that continues to stand as gatekeeper over a system that continues to produce predictable outcomes and results in your life. It's the hidden you that continues to produce predictable outcomes and results in your life. It's no one else. It ain't the devil. It's you and the accumulation of experiences, life-living philosophies, advice, concepts, revelations, all working together that you've gathered. They're all working together to produce a predictable outcome that we call you. And it's producing it over and over and over again. And until you acknowledge that something is wrong, that I have something kicking on the inside of me that's large and in charge, it's great, it's grand. But when I give birth to it, it's nothing but a small little thing. It's not what I felt on the inside of me, but I'm still feeling that thing on the inside of me. And now you need to gather around you a whole new concept of ideologies, philosophies, concepts, precepts, ideas, advice, so that it can all work together to produce the new you. This is what the Bible says, and it's very interesting. It says, let that mind be in you that's also in Christ. If you want Christ-like results, you got to let his mind be in you. You got to dethrone your life-living philosophies that continue to produce error, that continue to produce wrong, that continue to produce wrong thinking, wrong life-living philosophies, wrong outcomes. And you got to let the mind of Christ be in you in order to produce the Christ-like results. You want to walk on water? Let his mind be in you. You want to operate out of abundance? You got to let his mind be in you. You want to walk on what everybody else is sinking in? You got to let his mind be in you. But until you can confront the private you and tell it, hold up, buddy, you've gone as far as you're going to go. And you dethrone it. Now, it's not going to go down without a fight. Your old mind, your old self wants to continue to exist in the now. And when you begin to move and shove it out of the now, it's going to fight you. It's going to remind you of the victories that you have using those inferior ideologies and mindsets. But you're going to have to dethrone it, knowing that it facilitated you getting to $100,000, but it can never facilitate you moving beyond the $100,000. That's the $100,000 mind, and that's all this is going to continue to give you. I don't care how you rearrange the chairs on the Titanic Titanic is going down. And in life, I don't care how many times you rearrange the chairs on the Titanic of life, of you producing different outcomes, you're going to keep producing the same outcome because you did not change the philosophy, the mind. And so when you bury that mind, that old mind, that private you that's not going to tell you when you've done wrong, that's not going to tell you to get up and go read a book, it's not going to tell you to go do extra reps, it's not going to tell you to eat healthier, it's not going to tell you the things that it needs to be telling you because it doesn't have a point of reference. Until you dethrone, you bury it, you separate yourself from that mind so that you can walk in the newness of the mind of the $1 billion producer, of the $1 million producer. And I'm not telling you to go and study people who make $1 million, $1 billion. I'm telling you to let that mind be in you that produces the results. You want Christ results? Let the mind of Christ be in you. The name of the mind that's on the inside has to carry receipts, has to carry tangible receipts. I'm not talking about all these people who show up as a public success, but privately they're failures. And then you're eating up their principles, you're eating up the things that they're saying, and you don't know that the private iteration of them is failure. You don't know that they got fake money up. I'm a billionaire. It's fake money. It's costume money. It's Halloween money. The rappers with the gold chains, they're all fake. The diamonds are fake. The Ferraris, the Guineas, they're all rented. Confront the private you. I'm not telling you got to change your body, but I'm telling you can change your body when you change your mind. I'm not telling you got to change what banks you're banking with, but I'm telling you can change your banking when you change your mind. Your banking will change when your mind changes.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Motivate, we gotta motivate, let's go. Gonna motivate, gotta motivate, gonna motivate, let's go, 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 let's go.